Hey, this is Paul from TradeTheFifth.com. Just wanted to go through how I set up a chart. This is AMT on the weekly. We've had a signal on the daily time frame with our roller coaster. But a lot of the times when we're using our trading indicators or other indicators, we need to frame the chart first. We need to understand what's going off, where the support resistance zones are, what the channels look like, and need to find reasons not to get in a trade. I know that's counterintuitive, but lots of indicators give lots of signals, but you need to understand what's going on with a particular stock, forex pair, futures contract, or anything like that. So this is a daily routine that I go through on lots of charts every single day. So AMT, we're just beta testing now our roller coaster smart list, basically giving us those signals, and AMT gave us a signal on the daily yesterday. But the first thing I want to do is look at it on a weekly. I want to put my channels in and my big support and resistance zones. So I've zoomed out on this chart really big right now. We can see our big weekly channel coming here. Recently, towards the end of 2018, it broke out of that, and we've been pretty parabolic, a lot steeper channel now on the weekly, but I've still left this in because it could come down and test here. The next thing I do on the weekly, if I zoom in a little bit, okay, so just going back to the channels before I go to the linear support and resistance zones, I draw parallel channels here. I don't use regression trend channels. I like to see the line of best fit, and that, a lot of it is to do with the center line. So I'm just going to draw some ellipses here to help you understand what I'm trying to point out here. So this is the current channel that we're in, and I got some great touches down on the bottom here. One. I've got one in a big linear support and resistance zone there. Two. And then on the bottom here, I've got another touch and a linear support and resistance zone as well. So really strong trend line here. Then the center line for me is really important here. We got lots of tests here. Then we clustered and found resistance here for quite a few weeks. So if I draw that in here, that's a big test, okay? We then come back down and find support here. We get support at a linear support and resistance zone and the center line of the channel. And then we're hugging this as support down here as well. So these are the channels that I like to put on. And institutional traders, I was one of those, to put those on as well. Top end of the line, we've got two touches, one here, well, three touches there. So that's the good channel. That's the channel that we're in. The next thing I want to do is look at weekly support and resistance zones. And we're talking zones, not price points. Zones are important because, let's look at this here. We've got a high on this pivot here which rejected, okay? We've got a high here, we've got clustering here, and we've got a low here. So what we've done is actually, it's given us a zone, a price zone where decisions are made, okay, in and around that zone. The next one up here, centered around about $200, but again, we just see that tip here, that bottom low there. We see the resistance down here on the left. So this gives us a weekly zone. So once I've done the work on the weekly, I need to now go to the daily. So now you can see those zones a little clearer. Let's take off some of these. I mean, look at these tests on the daily on the center line of this weekly channel here. Really, really, really strong. Again here, look, on the bottom end of this weekly channel, really strong. We might break out of this, I don't know, but right now we've got to look at daily support and resistance zones. Again, I'm looking left, I'm looking for a test into the zone here, here as well. We've got some highs, some resistance here and here. This is a good linear support and resistance zone on the daily time frame. And then we've got another one, we've got some resistance here. 5 days it tried to push through there before it eventually did. We got a big rejection here. We got a rejection here, it came up, pushed down, then it found support. Again, a nice daily support and resistance zone. So what we have right now is we've just got the signal. I don't know whether you can see that or not. We just got the green line. It closed at the low yesterday. So I'm just going to put an ellipse on that for now, just so you can see that. Okay, so we've got the signal on the roller coaster with the stop just above the high there, but now we're going to be entering into support. We've got the channel here. I'm finding lots of reasons not to take this trade. But then what I want to do, that's our roller coaster indicator suite. I want to add our Elliott wave. I want to see where we are in this current trend right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add these indicators. I'm going to add our Elliott Wave Indicator Suite, the oscillator, and the false breakout. Those all come with the Elliott Wave Indicator Suite. So what we have right now, we look at these lows here. We've got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a wave 4. So we're looking for a potential fifth wave. So, or a wave 4 failure. So I want to go into this trend a little deeper here right now. This current trend, again, this is a great start point for our trend. We've got that consolidation here in this ellipse of both the bottom end of our channel, support and resistance zone, and then we start to move up. So then our Elliott Wave Indicator Suite gives us the count. We've had a wave 1, a wave 2, a long wave 3. Now we're on a wave 4, closed at the lows yesterday. So there's two potential scenarios here. We're going to get a wave 4 failure, the trend will be over, and we'll keep coming down. So we can look at different time frames than this daily for signals. We could even use our bits, our breakout indicator suite. But right now we can see if we're going to enter here today on a Friday, right into support, that's going to be no good. If it gaps down, we've got a little bit of room down to 220, so that's pretty good. But what I want to do now is just show on the Elliott Wave Indicator Suite, I want to do some measurements right now. Because if this does find support today and consolidates, and I'm not saying it will, but if it does, we need to be ready for looking for a long. So one of the things on our Elliott Wave oscillators, we need to measure this performance of the wave 4. So what I do is a fib retracement. So I go down to the oscillator, click on 0, go to the highest point on the wave 3, and we've got our fib retracement. Just go big on that. What we need is this wave 4 pullback to find support within this 90 to 140. It's not there yet. Also, we've got our false breakout stochastic. So this means the stochastic is having false breakouts in this overbought zone, so it's strong bullish trend. We're pulling back against there right now, but it's not crossed over in the oversold zone yet, and that's what it needs to do. So right now it looks like this wave 4's got a little bit more room to move down. The only issue is if it breaks our red zone, it's gone too deep on the fib retracement. So that is over. That wave 4 fails, and we'll be looking for the short. So again, I go through this type of scenario every single day using our different indicator suites, framing the chart, putting our channels on, putting the linear support and resistance zones on. Now, it takes practice, and I do teach this in my classes in the USA when I travel over to the USA, and it is part of our core trading course. It's an online course on our website. But the main thing is you've got to frame the chart. It doesn't matter whether it's a stock, a futures, a forex, a cryptocurrency. You need to understand what the behavior is, and these are very simple tools to do that, and you can use these tools on the TradingView platform. Obviously our indicator suites are proprietary, but we've got earnings coming up we just had earnings on AMT as well, but the markets are taking that pressure all the way down. So we've got some support coming up here with the channel, we've got some support here, but again, look, if it breaks out of the channel, breaks this linear support resistance zone on the daily, we've got room then from $218 down to nearly $200 in this support zone here. So if it does break out of this channel, we'll be looking to use our bits indicator or a roller coaster on different time frames to look to get in that short on AMT. So hopefully that helps a little bit, just shows you what sort of things I go through every single day, whether it's using this TradingView platform or other platforms with our indicator suites. My process is the same on every single instrument that I look at. So hopefully that's helpful. Keep an eye on AMT. If this does find support right now, we will be looking for a long next week, but let's see how this market correction continues.